Welcome to Bad Teacher Tales, real talk, stories, and advice for teachers and those who love them. Each episode, Scara and Sly bring you the good, the bad, and the what the hell of daily teacher life. If we make you laugh, gasp, or question your career choices, hit like, share, and subscribe. Have a story to share? Link is in the notes. Drop it like a late assignment. All educational contributors are welcome, even our heroic custodians. You see everything and know the real dirt, so don't be shy. Send it in. These opinions aren't necessarily those of the hosts or Bad Teacher Tales. Some content may not be suitable for children. I know. Listener discretion advised.
Welcome to Bad Teacher Tales. As you listen to this episode, keep in mind that this is a self-produced and edited podcast with no prior knowledge of how podcasts work. I have learned and grown since these earlier episodes. I promise the quality gets better as you move through Season 1 and into Season 2. As an educator, I value the learning process and work to give my students grace as they make mistakes along the way. Please allow us these same considerations while listening to these earlier episodes. Thank you. Welcome to Bad Teacher Tales. As you listen to this episode, keep in mind that this is a self-produced and edited podcast with no prior knowledge of how podcasts work. I have learned and grown since these earlier episodes. I promise the quality gets better as you move through Season 1 and into Season 2. As an educator, I value the learning process and work to give my students grace as they make mistakes along the way. Please allow us these same considerations while listening to these earlier episodes. Thank you.
So I didn't text the group this because I wanted to see your reaction to this first of something that happened today.
Okay.
So first, I'm wearing a theater t-shirt that says, "I'm not yelling, I'm projecting."
Yes, I have one like it.
And in one of my classes, I have 3 deaf education students.
Okay.
And 2 of them come with amplifying devices.
Right.
That we can clip onto our shirts or a lanyard, whatever. About halfway through my lesson today, one of the kids comes up to me and says, "You don't need this. I can hear you just fine." And took away his amplification device.
He took away your amplification device.
He's like, "I got you. I can hear you. That's not a problem."
So the student who is deaf could hear you without problem.
It was so... I had to step outside and laugh.
Oh.
I was losing it.
Oh my gosh. So I have a student who is deaf story as well, actually.
Yes.
So I have been wondering when I would be the lucky recipient of a student who is deaf, like for realsies, because in college I signed and I got so good that my professor really wanted me to go into the interpreter program. Mm-hmm. But I was kind of done with school at that point. So I'm like, nah.
You're like, no, thank you.
No, thank you. I'm just going to graduate with my useless liberal arts degree and figure out what
and go forth.
Well, I finally get a student who is deaf. I'm so excited. I'm signing to him. I'm all excited. And his aide comes over. She goes, "I just want you to know he doesn't really sign." Oh.
So you're over there, you're having this conversation, you're having a grand old time, and he's like,
I'm super proud of myself. I'm like, I can tell you what I need you to do. I'm practicing. Yeah, it was for naught. It was for naught.
Welcome to Bad Teacher Tales, where each week we share the good, the bad, and the what the hell of daily teacher life. We'll expose workplace woes that range from unrealistic to impossibly asinine. We'll postulate on parental problems and admin antics. We might even learn a helpful tip or trick. And while we may be bad teachers, We will always leave remembering our why, those beautiful, bright, baffling students. The opinions read in this episode do not necessarily reflect those of the hosts or Bad Teacher Tales. Some language and situations may be unsuitable for children. Ironic, I know. Listener discretion is advised.
All right, Stevie, I'm going to read this one from an elementary music teacher from Houston, Texas, and we're calling this, Can He Hold a Banner? For background, I was teaching music, pre-K through first grade, in a place where parents don't all necessarily show they care. But there are also some parents who would be overly concerned, like whether their student received an S over an E and what's the difference. The difference is a click, ma'am, and really makes no difference. So, like, why are you bothering me about this? Can we discuss your child's homework? Okay, so I gotta back up for a moment. First of all, I have worked somewhere where parents don't show they care. And I want to make it very clear that I doubt that this teacher means that they actually don't care, but maybe they don't know how to show that they care or how to support their child or their teacher properly.
Yeah.
But really, what's an S versus an E? Really did not know that people looked at that. And I don't know about you, but I don't think that I've even used any of those in a while, unless I really needed to use like an N. Oh, for anyone that isn't sure or doesn't know what we're talking about, and these are conduct grades. And so it would be like, these are your behavior grades. So an S is satisfactory, whereas an E is excellent, and an N is needs work,
Yes.
and then a U is unacceptable. So while I do give out U's and N's, it's very intentional and very rare, but there is no difference in a teacher's mind between an S and an E. You're just doing what you need to be doing. Your child's good, don't need to be having extra conferences or emailing us. That's what it means. Well, anyway, she says, it was January and we had just stepped into the building, and my principal asked me to put together something for a school board appreciation 2 weeks from now. First, what the hell is that? I've never heard of this before, but okay. Second, what does it need to be? She told me the parameters. It needs to be just a few quick songs, and it will take place 2 weeks after kids return to school. Okay, cool. I got 2 weeks with the kids. I can put something together.
Mhm.
So I ask if I can handpick the kids so that I can ensure that the quick turnaround will be successful, since, after all, it is a school board event and everything, and she agreed. I chose to use my first graders since they are the oldest bunch, and I had a teacher help me rewrite some lyrics to match school board appreciation, like, for they're a jolly good school board, things like that. That's adorable. I put
love
together
it.
3 songs. Yeah. I put together 3 songs. The school year starts and we start rehearsing. Then my AP comes to me on the Monday that school starts and says, I might have told you wrong, but the event is actually on Thursday of this week. Oh, okay.
Jeez. Oh no, my heart just fell. Those are like the worst things you could tell someone in the fine arts department. It's like,
And I've definitely been put in this position, and I've definitely put myself in this position.
oh
Where
yes.
I suddenly have, 3 days or 4 days? Oh, look, she goes on. So you're giving me 4 days to put together a program for the school board? Great. Exactly what I said.
Exactly.
Oh. But I still said okay and pulled the kids out of the classes as much as their teachers would allow in order to get extra rehearsal time in, because I'll be damned if I'm the one looking bad in front of the school board because my admin gave me 4 days to put this thing together. Oh, yes. Because I don't think they realize that our name is attached to our programs.
Yep.
And I'll even tell my students, look, you represent our school's theater program and you represent me. And I'm not about having you do anything that might jeopardize my ability to feed my children.
Honest to goodness, it's like, listen, y'all, we aren't just in my theater class. We are in the school's theater. Like, this is a big deal.
Yep. Yeah. And often when we go to events, you are wearing a t-shirt that says so-and-so school, theater department. You might as well have my name on your back. So
exactly. Can we please
do things well? I was able to pull them enough that they got it. These first graders worked really hard, learned their songs, and we had some motions, super adorable, and we were ready. I ended up recording their vocal performance in case not enough of them could join us for the actual event, and those there could sing along to the track, and it would still sound great. This ended up being a great decision since only 4 out of the 15 were able to show up due to the 4 days notice.
Oh,
but I digress.
Gosh. Okay.
That's a whole other problem.
That's a whole other problem because you scheduled something at a completely different date and people worked around that. Like,
right. And then you're saying, just kidding. Be here tomorrow.
That, oh my God. I'm getting anxious just.
Right. And again, so going back to her setup with like the type of school that she's working for, I've worked in that type of school, it sounds like, very similar at least. And often my students would not have been able to get back to school or get to a board meeting, which I imagine is not on campus. And I feel like, you're putting parents and yourself, admin, in a very tough spot by last minute saying, hey, I need this.
Yeah, that's that's making me so just
anxious. Yep, because I've been there. I feel it.
Oh my gosh.
Now, mind you, I picked first graders because they are my most confident out of the 3 grade levels, which is a terrifying thing to say about a group of 6-year-olds.
Listen, I am putting all my faith, trust, and pixie dust in 6-year-olds right now.
I love how she were like, it's a terrifying thing to say about 6-year-olds. They're my most competent.
Oh man.
All right, you ready for the next part?
Let's do it.
Here we go. But then she goes on. But then my AP comes to me the day of the program and asks if we can have these 2 pre-K students join us in the performance. Okay, why would you do that?
Why are we doing this?
No, I said, we cannot. I understand what you're trying to do, and my answer is no. I understand very well that you are trying to kiss some ass. Uh-oh. She says, I'm guessing the admin is she here. So the admin says, no, that's not it. And I say, I sure do understand what you're trying to do, and I get it. But you don't understand this. You don't seem to understand what I have done to get to this point, because you have picked 2 of the worst behaved preschool students. Why? Because one of those kids' grandpas is on the school board. I get it. There it is.
There it is.
All right, so let's talk about this for a moment.
Listen. Nepo babies. Because that's exactly what it is. And I
get it. And why was this not brought up 4 days ago when you said, hey, we need this program, make sure the school board's kids in it? Why is that not the moment in time where you say, let me find a job for this baby?
Like, yeah, why wasn't that the leading question after, hey, BT dubs? Like, but as long, like, do I like it? No. But is that at least a little bit of time for me to work with something? Yes.
Yeah, it's much more feasible at least. And really, I guess, I mean, I'm not blaming this teacher, but if the teacher knows that the kid's on this, like, grandpa's on the school board, I definitely don't do things like, oh, I already know that, I should probably put this kid in.
Right. Jeez Louise. But and that's just setting those kids up for failure too. Like I said, Nepo babies, because Nepo babies very frequently are like, oh, well, I'm so and so's child, grandchild, niece, nephew. I should go ahead and be admitted to this or be allowed to do this. And it's like, no, that's not always the case. That's
Yeah,
not
they
always
start
the
to
case.
learn to use that as the reason they should do the things.
Right. And that's not it. Oh, on the nepotism thing, have you seen that a lot of like the old school like colleges in Texas, or not in just in Texas, but like all over, are starting to ban, or not ban, but do away with the legacy admittance?
No.
So like those kids are now actually going to have to try like everybody else to get into that school, and they can't get in just because mom and dad did.
I don't hate that.
I don't hate that at all either.
So, okay, so here's the thing, because I'm about to have a Nepo baby, right?
Right.
And like, I'm not about to have a baby, but I'm about to have a baby in a school where I have some say, right? And the thing is, I feel like my mode will be the complete opposite. Let me prove that my kid isn't getting anything just because
Yes.
they're my kid. And I feel like I'm going to need to find a balance between doing what's right for my kid and proving that I'm not doing
Exactly.
like,
And
not trying to get something because,
right. And I've already had that experience with my oldest. So a couple of years ago, I worked a summer at a summer at a daycare, and I was working with the older kids at the daycare. And my oldest daughter was put into that class, and she thought she was going to be cute and slick and be rude to the other kids. And I tell you, I have never pulled that child away faster and been like, I don't care that you're my kid. You're not going to be behaving like that around these other children. You know how to behave at home, so you better bring that here.
and really it's because you're my kid.
It's because you're my kid.
Yeah. Again, we're going back to the you represent me, child.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, that just okay,
All
keep
right,
going. I gotta.
All right, we gotta decompress. I don't think it's gonna get better, but
I don't think it's gonna get better.
So she asked me one more time. Okay, so admin asked me one more time, and I told her, no, you're going to look dumb. If you put these pre-K kids in this program and they don't know the songs, they're not in the recordings, and they haven't learned the movements, etc., etc., it's going to be very obvious what you are trying to do. Again, yes. No. Yes, right? You're again, like you said, you're setting them up for failure.
Mm-hmm. You are setting them up for
failure.
Lo
and behold, I show up that night for the program, and there stands this pre-K kid with his mom. And I go to my AP and tell her one more time, this is not going to work out well if you insist that we do this. And you will be the one that's going to look dumb at this point, not me. So then she asks, can we let him have one of the instruments? Hell no, I'm not giving this child something that makes noise when he doesn't know the songs.
Absolutely not. That is like even worse than letting them participate, is giving them an instrument.
Like, at least if he's just standing there, it looks like he doesn't feel like participating rather than not knowing this stuff. Because I've definitely been to a program where my kid just stands there and doesn't do the movements or doesn't sing, and it's not because they don't know it, they just feel uncomfortable. But you give them an instrument, ooh,
that's the literal worst idea ever. Because at least if it was singing, they can just move their mouth and not make any noise.
Right there, yeah, right. All right, she goes on. So can he hold a banner or something? No, we don't have a banner to hold. He should not be participating. But she is my boss, and really, what can I do at this point?
Oh, I hate the predicament that this teacher is in.
I know. I feel it in my bones, and okay. So here we are with my 4 first graders and 2 preschoolers. And throughout the songs, he's either just standing there smiling or making some weird noises, dancing a little bit, but not doing any of the motions or singing the songs because he does not know them.
Exactly.
Wouldn't we say that? We totally predicted this situation.
We totally predicted it.
Then after every song, he runs up to his mom, who promptly places her hand flat on his chest and shoves him back towards the group because he clearly doesn't know when the program is over.
Oh,
why?
the sweet little
yeah,
baby.
he never practiced with the group.
He never practiced with the group, and he's also in pre-K. Like,
he's like, song's over, job's done.
Yeah, he's like, I'm done. Bye. Oh, Mom's, my God.
I love that description. Just puts her hand on his chest and just shoves him back. Just go. Get back up there, child. Well, we finish, and it goes well enough considering the recording saved my butt. And as I was walking out that night, if looks could kill, my assistant principal would be dead.
I mean, truly.
Oh, I feel it. I was so pissed I didn't speak. Yeah, I was so pissed I didn't speak to her for at least a week. Mm-hmm. And nothing came of any of this because she was like, cool, you put that together in 4 days. You are a miracle worker. I will now ask you to do things like this all the time.
Oh.
And that's the thing. That's the thing right there.
There's the someone that tells me, of teaching.
Yes, I have like a district self-proclaimed, like I self-proclaimed her my mentor, and I call her when I need to cry or ask if I'm crazy. I'll call her and I'll be like, hey, I got asked to do this. And I keep being asked to do these things. And she's like, well, stop doing your job so well.
I mean, like, honest to goodness, but the thing is if I don't do my job so well, my name is still attached to the program.
Precisely. It's also like, it's not in my nature to do that. I can't self-sabotage in that kind of way. I can't. I'd like to think I could some days, many days, most days. Moral of the story. When you do your job well, hey, look at that. When you do your job well, you get asked to do more. I once had a conversation with the mom of the pre-K kid in question, daughter of the school board member, mind you, in which she says, yeah, get ready, right? In which she says, oh, my baby, I'm sorry, she's Southern apparently. Oh, my baby is highly intelligent. He memorizes all his mystery rhymes.
I'm sorry, what was that word?
Now, I'm just going to go ahead and read because she answers this for you. Now, I don't know what mystery rhymes are, and I assumed I must have misheard her because there is no way she actually said that sentence. So I asked her to repeat, and she absolutely called them mystery rhymes. Huh? I don't know if that says something about the mom, something about the school board member, or something about the district, but it absolutely says something. Now, back to your question. No, rememorizes is not a word.
Okay.
However,
okay, great.
Say it out loud. It's actually pretty fun to say.
It's actually pretty fun to say.
All right, children, let's see who memorizes their monologues today.
That's so funny. Oh, teacher, I'm so sorry that happened to you. That's not fun. But hey,
but you will always memorize your mystery rhymes.
Yes, exactly. And you know what? You're doing your job so well that the school is going to keep asking you to do things on short notice.
Congratulations. You are now in the category of stop doing your job so well.
Thank you for joining today's episode of Bad Teacher Tales. If we made your day slightly better, or your job seemed slightly less absurd, hit like, share, and subscribe. Your support keeps us caffeinated and somewhat functional. Want to share your story anonymously? The link in the notes is open 24/7, something your planning period can only dream of. Just kidding, those don't exist. Stories from all corners of education are welcome. Anyone who witnesses the madness and magic, we want your tales. Follow us on Instagram and TikTok at @BadTeacherTales to drop your tales, memes, and coping strategies. Got suggestions, comments, questions, or topic ideas? Email us anytime at badteachertales@gmail.com. Unlike Teachers on Fridays, we actually read them. See you again soon. Try not to quit before then.